Yo guys, what's going on? It's your man Kels, and today I just want to discuss a few topics that have come up in with me watching other YouTubers, and you know I keep hearing the same thing over and over. The division is broken, too many glitches, the gear score drops are, or the gear overall gear drops are horrible. You're running missions on challenging or heroic, and you're getting really lame drops. Okay, I agree, and I don't disagree with any of that. However, I do have a particular opinion on how it actually should work and how it shouldn't work according to how everybody thinks it should. Everybody thinks like you should be able to go into a mission, and the mission, if it's challenging mode, you should be rewarded with some really awesome gear. Here's a huge problem with that nobody seems to want to think about. If every time you ran that mission and you got great gear, then you'd be all geared up in a week or two. And if there's 4, 5, 6, 7 gear sets and you're trying to get a particular one and you just kept farming the mission every day for a week straight, you would have a perfect build within a week. Think about it. Okay, maybe 2 weeks at the most, right? Think about it though, seriously. And then if they're all super high end and they're all really great gear, and you can re-roll, recalibrate the attributes on them, I mean, what's going to stop you from being perfectly geared in a week or two? Now what's going to happen is people are going to be complaining that the game is too easy and the missions are too easy and the players are now stronger than the NPCs, and now they got to buff the NPCs as opposed to nerfing the NPCs, right? Well, I'm all geared up, man. I can sit there and tank shotgunners for days. Level 36 shotgunners are not an issue for me. Well, that wouldn't make any sense because nobody would, it would be a huge now what, right? This game to me is a love-hate relationship. It's a hate because not having the gear that I want, like right now I'm on a skill power build, and what I'm basically just showing you on the screen is my stats, like, that I've never paid attention to. The actual decrease in cooldown times and things like that, the higher your skill power goes. I mean, I always knew they existed, but I never really truly paid attention to it. But my gear is absolutely trash. Now, mind you, this is my PC account, which I've had for about 3 weeks, as opposed to my PS4 account, which is day one. And my PS4 account, of course, is no longer viable because it's all mostly sentries, and then I did 3 sentry, 3 striker, and it's all mixed up. But everything was fine. I had my vector, brutal, deadly, responsive. I had my AUG, which was a 163, but it had self-preserved and sustained on it, which one gives you 6% of your health after kill, and the other one gives you 3% of health for every critical hit dealt, right? So if I'm dealing crit hits on that AUG for 70k, 3% of 70k is coming back to me as health. That's pretty OP. And the gun kept me alive through most missions. Any hard mode mission, yeah, I would never literally have to pop a heal. If I ran that AUG, I would never have to pop a heal. Anyways, back to what I was saying. If all the gear was perfect and you were completely geared out in about 1 to 2 weeks, everybody would then now have a new complaint, and the new complaint would be simply, the game is too easy. There's not enough challenge anymore, right? They go from the challenge modes are not dropping enough gear, right? Or they're dropping too much of a particular gear that nobody wants. Okay, that I agree with. I completely agree. I think all the gear sets should be available within all of the missions. I completely 1,000,000% agree with that. I couldn't possibly deny that whatsoever. That's how it should be. All gear sets should be available in all missions. Not you got to go run Falcon's Lost if you want Sentry Striker or Tactician, or go over to and run the HVTs if you want Lone Star, or go over to the Underground if you want Firecrest or Blind Eye. Like it shouldn't be like that. All gear sets should be available in all missions. So if you love the underground, you can just stay in the underground and farm it all day and you'll get the gear set. You love the dark zone, you can stay in the dark zone all day and end up with a sentry, end up with a striker, end up with a firecrest, end up with a tactician, end up with a lone star, end up with whatever it is that you want. You will, every boss will drop all the gear sets. But there's a lot of gear sets, right? And some of them are completely irrelevant, and we all really know that, most of us anyways. And some people will make comments, as I read in other people's videos, where, Blind Eye is amazing, you just don't know how to use it, blah, 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 things like that. Okay. Anyways, right now, I'll give you an example. I'm on a skill build journey because I finally discovered the power of having a high skill power. That was funny. I discovered the power of having a high skill power. Okay. I discovered the power of having high electronics. Whatever. Yeah, high skill power is powerful. It is a beast. So my mitigation right now is under 75%. My health with the current build I'm about to show you is going to be about 65%, less than 70,000. My regular build, which only gives me 42k skill power, will give me it's just one piece of gear. I think it's a holster. I'm not sure. Will give me 75 or 85 health, but it drops my mitigation to about 68%. So the point I'm trying to make is that my gear sucks, and I still have to grind to get the gear that I want. Now, I just discovered 2 days ago that I actually want to do a skill build. It's always been, I was always part of the majority that wants that super high DPS with, 100 plus K health. And I had it at one time, and, you're like everybody else. So if you're in the dark zone, you PvP, all they got to do is have 10,000 more DPS than you and 10,000 more health, and you lose, period. So, I like skill power. I like the fact that I can sit behind a smart cover and tank some yellow 32s that are shooting me and throwing grenades at me in a group together at the same time, and I'm surviving it. I think that is absolutely exciting. But the love-hate relationship with the Division is simply, I don't have the gear that I want right now. And I got to do a lot of work. I'm going to have to run a lot of missions. Most likely Falcon's Lost to get my Tactician pieces. And when I get them, they're going to suck. And, I don't want them to suck. And if I try to re-roll them, I'll give you an example. I rolled a Tactician piece because I got the blueprint for it. And I think it was a mask. And it actually rolled without skill power. So I got a sentry piece that I'm using. I believe it's a sentry mask that I have to use because it has skill power on it, right? So it has the perfect balance. It's right there. It's a 390, so it's got less armor than the actual Tactician piece. It's a same gear score, but it gives me a little bit of firearms and it gives me stamina, but it also gives me skill power. The Tactician piece doesn't give me skill power, and it's absolute trash. So I can't use it, so therefore I can't have 4-piece set. So now, because of the sentry piece I got to use, I'm down to 41,000 instead of enjoying the 47, 48,000 I just had. So therefore my skill cooldowns are less, and my damage buff is less, my damage resistance is less, which sucks. So it sucks not having the gear, and I think that's the biggest problem that people have in this game. They have a love-hate relationship. They love the game, but at the same time they get so frustrated with gear drops and not having the gear. Look at this, the grenades, all they do is stagger me off the car. Like that's it. Right? So with this current build right here, all I need is to I need like smart cover duration, and I need smart cover damage resilience, and I need more health, and obviously I need my mitigation up, and I'd be perfect. Like right there, I was too slow to pop the my smart cover is already up. The fact that my smart cover cooldown is 24 seconds and it lasts for 30 seconds is absolutely beast to me. It's the most exciting thing ever. I love smart cover. I'm so in love with it. But again, this is brand new to me. So to me, the game is brand new, right? Like I'm starting all over. I'm relying now on my actual skills as opposed to my gun. Look at my gun. It does nothing. Look at this. No crits. Nothing's happening. Just strictly armor damage. At 45,000. It's almost like base damage. Like literally just base damage doing damage. It's so funny. But anyways, that's always been a problem for me. Relying on my gun power. The firepower of my gun was always more important to me. And people that rank, like every time I heard like Tactician or Tactician, it always sounded stupid to me, honestly. And ignorantly enough, yeah, it was stupid. But look, my smart cover's back up. My heal is back up. I'm at full health on smart cover. These guys are gonna sit here and shoot me. And look at my overheal meter, right? It's like it's going down, but it's not like chumping down, right? Look at it. I absolutely love skill power. I'm pretty fascinated with it. I need more health. And I need my smart cover to last. It's about to run out. There's a grenade on top of me. But I had these guys shoot me down too fast. But anyways, if my health was up a little bit higher, but look at my gear. I got a piece of fire crest as a chest piece, right? Because that's what's gonna give me the armor. So that dropped in the underground, but it has the armor on it, as opposed to any other piece of gear. So to get my armor up, to get my mitigation up, I have to use that chest piece, right? Again, here's another little snippet of me just sitting here intentionally against my smart cover while this guy just rains fire on me. And I think look at how slow my overheal is actually chomping down. Look at this. He's not into my regular health yet. Okay, now he's slowly chomping down my health. I love skill power. So the love-hate relationship with this game is simple. You're not always going to get the gear that you want. You're going to run a mission. It's going to be a long, grueling mission. And, if you fail the mission, it's even worse. And at the end of the mission, you end up with trash gear. But that doesn't always happen. But people talk as if it constantly happens. But yet, when I'm sitting in the TOC, all I see is, when I'm waiting for an underground mission, or I'm trying to team up with other people, or, I'll just do a hard mode solo, because it's not really that serious. I'm seeing 240s and 250 pluses all over the place. So obviously the gear is dropping, right? Yes, the underground's all about blind, and it's become the Lone Star of the HVT. We understand that, right? HVT missions, Lone Star, Lone Star, Lone Star. Side missions, Lone Star. We get that. But like I said earlier, I completely agree that all gear sets should drop in all locations everywhere. So if you want Tactician, you can stay in the underground because you like the underground and you don't want to leave the underground. Not to say that that's what I feel. I like the streets. I like being up in streets inside buildings as opposed to underground. But I like the I would like the ability for all bosses to drop all gear sets. And for example, Lexington Event Center, if I could run that over and over and over again and eventually get all my Tactician pieces, it would be very annoying, but at the same time, at least I know what I'm going to get. That's it for this video, guys. I just wanted to give my thoughts on just some other people talking about the game is broken, it's unplayable, it's trash, it's not worth buying, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous. It's an RPG game. It's supposed to be hard. You're supposed to put in the work. You're supposed to solve the puzzle in order to get the rewards, and that's it. I'm out. Peace.